Sold as is means absolutely nothing. If you're a buyer's agent and you have a client wanting to write an offer on a house where the MLS says sold as is, you need to understand that it means really nothing. Let's break it down. So, as is a term that is used typically when a seller is selling a house and they know that there's something wrong with it. It could be a really old house that really needs to be renovated completely, and they just don't really want to deal with any inspection negotiations. They're basically admitting, listen, this house is old, I'm selling it as is, I'm not going to pay for any fixes or improvements or anything like that. So here's the deal. What the MLS says is irrelevant. It is just what the terms that the seller is offering, and the key word is offering. What actually matters is what's written into your contract to buy and sell real estate and how you negotiate the deal moving through the transaction. I'm going to give you an example. We just closed on a transaction where I represented the buyer. She was an investor and she bought a really old house near CSU in Fort Collins. It has been rented for decades. I don't think the seller had been in there for the last 10 years. The MLS said sold as is. We respected that when we wrote the offer. We wanted to get under contract. So we wrote the offer and did not include an inspection objection deadline nor inspection resolution, meaning we took our right away from negotiating any inspection objections and pulling out of the deal if we did not come to a resolution. We did, however, keep in there the inspection termination, meaning my buyer had the right to inspect the house, and if there was something that if she felt like it was too much, then she had the right to terminate the deal and get her earnest money back. Well, we inspected, and as predicted, there was a lot of things going on with the house. A lot more than the buyer thought there would be. The chimney was falling apart, and the pitch of the roof was so steep that if that chimney suddenly collapsed, it would kill someone that was walking by the house. The foundation was cinder block and was bowing in some areas, and the AC didn't even work. This all amounted to around $29,000 in costs to repair. And so my buyer decided that she wanted to terminate. Well, I took this information to the listing agent and I said, hey, listing agent, I am so sorry, I have some bad news. My buyer is going to terminate. She's ready to do so. There are so many issues with this house, and the price point that you guys are priced is just not worth the condition of the house. And I listed all the issues that she was overlooking and the ones that she felt like she would have to fix if she bought the house, and told them it would be $29,000. So we're going to terminate, but Mrs. Listing Agent, is your seller open to negotiating the price? Or do they prefer to just terminate and go back on the market? Turns out that the seller did not feel like they had that much leverage, and they decided to start negotiating with us. We negotiated and settled at an amount of $26,000 in a price reduction. That's a lot of money for a contract that had no inspection objection and for a house that was being sold as is. Now remember that you are writing an offer in good faith. We were not writing an offer one way and strategically deciding to go in a different direction with the inspection requests. However, you just never know what the state of mind of the seller is. And all you're doing is offering them two directions that the transaction goes in. Either it terminates, or if are they open to negotiation. All you're doing is giving them the option. And this seller decided that it was not worth going back on the market. It turns out that they were doing a 1031 exchange, so they had a timeline that they needed to meet, and they hadn't been in the house for 10 years. They hadn't realized the extent of the state of the house, and they decided that it was fair enough to negotiate. So whenever you see as is, always explain to your buyer it means nothing. All it means is that we can expect some things to come up in the inspection and we will deal with that when we get to it. If you found this video valuable, please like it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have questions about this topic, feel free to put it in the comments. And if you have any other topics that you would like me to make a video on, feel free to just put that in the comments too. Thank you and see you next time. Bye-bye.